Hi everyone, it's me, your friendly neighborhood emotional fucking train wreck. um, yeah, I literally just a minute or two ago, or I don't know, I had a fucking whirlwind of emotions hit me, in case you can't tell. I also got out of the shower, but that was where it kind of started. But yeah, my brain went on a fucking train of thought of I don't know. I just wanted to like recap stuff. I guess that's what my brain wanted to do, and it started because I was thinking about like why why I pick at my skin and shit, and then it like went to some stuff about when I was a kid, and I'm not gonna go into full detail about it, but it made me like when thinking about that and kind of thinking out loud to that to myself. I was talking to myself because it's like helps me process it sometimes. Um, when I hit my camera, when I started getting to like some of the feelings I was going through, because one thing like a realization was that um, like it's hard for me to talk about certain aspects of my childhood. It's very difficult because a lot of it was, I guess, in a way, traumatic. Um, and the way I described it to somebody in a conversation was that my brain was basically in survival mode at, like certain points of time, which was actually very often. And I noticed that when I was talking about this to myself in the shower, as you do, um, I noticed that, like, I was I was like holding my breath and I was like paying attention to like physiological signs. Like I checked my pulse and it was a little faster. Like I felt like I was dissociating a little bit to be able to cope with that feeling because I spent a lot of time blocking out massive chunks of my childhood because remembering them was too painful for me. And yeah, it's fucking crazy. And then I just spiraled into a fucking whirlwind of emotions, and I guess I had some. I don't know if I had flashbacks or not. I don't know how to describe like what flashbacks would be like. Is that just like a physiological thing? Is that like as if the memory is repeating itself without actually actively remembering what it was, or was it like the emotions or the feelings that you felt at the time? I don't have a full understanding of it yet, and I don't have a full understanding of how it affects me personally. But I was feeling some stuff, and at the same time, feeling like negative stuff, of course, but then it like to where I am now, because part of the thing that crossed my mind was that like I there were some decisions in my life that if those decisions were not made, let me put it this way, I didn't think I'd make it this far. I'll be honest. I really didn't expect myself to have a future past 25. I'm 27 now. And while I still, it's not easy, I made it this far. So obviously I'm doing something right. Or maybe not even doing something right. I don't know, I'm resilient enough to make it this far, I guess. So what's a little more time gonna hurt and things? And I was remembering, like, the people in my life that care about me. Because I remember feeling like I wasn't loved and things like that. But now realizing that I not only have an amazing partner in my life who, despite any of my flaws, really, still wants to be with me, and I'm seriously grateful for it. And I love him very much. Like, I don't care what other partners come in and out of my life. I just want him involved. That's all I care about. I just want him involved, no matter what. And I was also thinking about, like, some of my most important friends in my life, like, more in my adult life, but friends who were with me in some of my darkest times and some of my most stressed out moments or things like that, and how grateful I am to have them in my life as a non-judgmental friend. And I still value my friendship with these people to this day. Like, very much, even if we don't talk a lot. And I also thought of my brother and sister, who I have, like, they're awesome people, and I could not ask for better siblings, honestly. And part of me was also thinking about the friends I've made in Ren Fair, that although we're not extremely close, they have my back. And that's not something I feel very often with people, so I'm very grateful to have any of that I can. And they're basically, like, part of my chosen family. And it's so nice. And, yeah, when I finally came out of whatever the fuck that was, one, I was like, wow, this is some shit. And for some reason I wanted to pick up the camera and talk about it for whatever reason. But, you know, like, I guess what I was thinking was that, like, living with mental health issues is never easy. Well, yeah, it's not easy. This is what it looks like sometimes. You're coming out of the shower at, like, fucking almost midnight, bawling your eyes out, only to afterwards pick up a camera and record and things. It's weird. But it's a reality that a lot of us face, and I technically live with 4 or 5 conditions in my brain. Depends on if you want to count. I think 5, but it depends on, like, if one is more of a byproduct of the others or something. I don't know. And sometimes that reality is really harsh, but it's good to know when you're not alone. And it's also good to know that if you're someone who has been through any kind of abuse or any sort of bullying, any sort of, like, isolation, ostracization, I know you feel very alone. I know. Believe me, I understand. But I can promise you, like, you're not. You're definitely not the only person who feels this way. And I mean this in the nicest way possible. If knowing that there are other people who may not understand the specific details, but they understand your feelings about whatever it is that happened, that's a good start. It does help you feel a little less lonely knowing that other people have been there. It may not help at the time much, but in the long run, it does. And I understand that, if you're tired of people hurting you, if you're tired of feeling pain and just so much hurt that, like, I remember feeling as a child and as a teenager and even as a young adult, when you're feeling all that, it's really scary. And I understand that you just don't want to hurt anymore. I get it. But I can tell you that it's worth it to keep going. Like, whatever it is that you need to do to help you keep going that's healthy, preferably. Self-care is super important. Like, it's super important. Like, I'm not expecting you to love yourself 100% because I certainly fucking never did, and I don't even know if I do now. But I don't hate myself now, which is a step in a better direction. I don't want to say the right direction because sometimes right or wrong can make someone feel anxious about how they're doing with that. But yeah, like, seriously, do what you can. And it's okay to ask for help if you need it. It's totally fine. If that's what you need to do to make things better for yourself, go for it. I know it's probably going to be hard, but it's worth it. Like, when you finally get to something that works, it's worth it. Don't give up on yourself. And keep fighting for yourself. So, yeah. I might be rambling a little bit, but my brain is also, like, all over the place, so it's like, ah! And I'm about to watch robots go fight each other to help me feel a little bit better and distract myself a little bit. And I have things to cuddle, like I have this very soft pillow that is actually my partner's, so it kind of smells like him, I think. I also have a toothless that smells like lavender and is super cute and shiny and cuddly. So I have that. And I also have, like, the people in my life that I can talk to if I need to, which is awesome. So if you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you listening to me rant, I guess. I don't know what to call this. I had a fuck it moment and just grabbed the camera and started, and I was like, okay, I'm talking about things, brain gremlin things, I guess. I'll probably end up putting a trigger warning or a content warning at the beginning of this video. This is partly to remind me in the editing future to do that, because there's some fucking difficult topics in this, so yay. But thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Yeah. I hope you're doing okay. Or, if you're not doing okay, I hope you will be okay. Because you will at some point, and I hope it happens sooner rather than later. And, yeah, until next time, take care, guys. Girls. Folks. Bye, everyone.